stop for a minute. I want you to really stop and get still and think about this. What if your hopes and dreams could come true? What if the desires you have for yourself, the things that you secretly want, could become a reality in your life? You see, one thing I believe is that you can achieve it. Whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is that you want, the more that you secretly want to experience, you can achieve that in your life. And so, if that resonates with you, if you get excited when you think about your hopes and dreams coming true, when you think about achieving the things that you want to accomplish, when you think about experiencing the more that you desire to have, I want to invite you to give yourself a chance to do exactly that. Whether it's in your life personally or it's in your career professionally, whatever it is that you desire, you not only deserve it, you can experience it. And so if that resonates with you, if you're saying to yourself, that's me, I want to invite you to visit my website, www.womenwantmore.live. I want you to make your hopes and dreams come true by being diligent about your success. Well, welcome to I'm the Good Thing, the podcast. Now, this is the place where we unpack life wisdom. We pray, we affirm, and most of all, we discover our true beauty, our worth, and our power. I'm Denise Taylor, and I'm all about helping women build a life that they love. And that begins with us believing everything good about who God has created us to be. Now, this is the place where we get energized in a God kind of way as we see ourselves the way God sees us. And let me tell you, sis, you are good. Our life wisdom for today is this. If they don't see the value of having you by their side, please don't try to convince them. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced a relationship that has gone this way, where it seems like everything was good about the relationship, but at some point in time, either at the start or somewhere over the course of time, you began to sense that your worth and value were not recognized or appreciated. Now, this can happen in love relationships just as much as it can happen in friendships. And when you start to see that erosion, when you start to feel as if your value is not being honored, you have to allow yourself to remove yourself from that relationship. At a minimum, you need to introduce boundaries that will allow you to exist within the relationship without sacrificing who you are. Because if you stay connected in a place that is no longer safe for you, healthy for you, or valuable for you to be there, you will stay past the expiration of that relationship, and it will do exactly what food does past its expiration, which is go bad. At some point, we've got to be willing to be honest with ourselves and stop trying to force ourselves into relationships that don't serve us well. There's this perspective of going where you're celebrated rather than tolerated. And I believe that that is true. There has to be some acknowledgement of you. You being a part of the relationship needs to be honored and appreciated. And as soon as you sense that that is no longer the case, you do yourself a disservice to stay connected there. But to move on, you have to begin to recognize your own value outside of that relationship. You have to recognize that you are valuable, that your worthiness is intact, that you bring so much more to the table, even if they can't see it. You see, I operate under this principle that access to me is a privilege. It is an absolute privilege for someone to have access to me, even if they can't recognize the value I bring to the table. I also know that you can find your squad. You can find a group of people who are warm and welcoming to you, where you fit in perfectly without having to convince them that you deserve to be there. And, it was something that I learned when I was a little girl and I was trying to force myself into the in crowd or into the cliques. There was one girl in particular who pulled me to the side and said to me, Denise, you are allowing them to run over you as if you are a red carpet. Now, I'm not sure why she said red carpet, but I will tell you, I have never forgotten the visual. I have never forgotten the visual of people running over me as if I was just a red carpet and they were consuming my goodness, but devaluing who I was. And so I try to be real sensitive to that. I try to be sensitive of where is the best fit for me. But I also know that there are times where I have to acknowledge if the fit isn't there anymore. And it's on me to make the choice, the mature choice, to protect myself by removing myself and not being so closely tied. So here's what I want you to think about as we close out today. Noodle on this. Growth is walking away from what you are used to in order to get what you deserve. You should not have to convince anyone to value you. Access to you is a privilege. Thanks for connecting with me today. If this was a help to you, apply what stood out most to your life. And if you loved it, subscribe so you can meet me here next time. And if you were moved, by all means, share this with someone else. Keep seeing yourself the way God sees you. After all, you are the good thing. And visit my website, imthegoodthing.com, for all sorts of good stuff. And I'll see you next time.